What's up, YouTube? This is Law and Disorder, and this isn't Kate. Otherwise, Kate is
I'm sure they couldn't tell.
black, bald, and old.
Yeah, I'm sure they couldn't tell.
I'm sitting here with the world-renowned, infamous Cool Eddie G.
Hey,
Ed, what's up, man? What are we doing today?
man. I appreciate the opportunity to come on the show, Sergio. I wanted to take the opportunity to tell you a little bit about a nonprofit organization that I'm in the process of establishing.
Is it like CoolEddieGNeedsMoney.org?
No, that was the last one.
Oh, okay. Did that one work out well for you?
Not as well as I would have anticipated, but but you move on for those things, and you learn, and you move on.
And you start a new one. I got you. But this one's for a good cause.
No, this is a good cause. It's actually, this one was something that was hit me like a ton of bricks, man. When it comes to the opportunity to serve people who are less fortunate, you can't pass on that opportunity. And
Right on.
And so the opportunity presented itself very, very quickly, and I've been establishing this organization since that happened.
So what is it, sir? Tell me
The
a little bit
name of
about
the organization is Lenda Hand, and it's a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
Designed to positively affect the lives of young people, children primarily, in a township outside of Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay. So we're giving back. We're giving back to the future.
Exactly.
And the less fortunate, obviously.
And the less fortunate. And Lenda Hand is designed to not only focus on self-sufficiency, but it addresses the current need that presents itself there, primarily helping children and young mothers who live in that particular township outside of Nairobi. The township is called Kibera. And what we do through Lenda Hand is we work directly with the Child Development Center there in Kariba. And it's called Agape Hope for Kibera. And it's a organization run by young people who are trying to help and feed and clothe kids, many of them who are homeless.
So it's a group of like younger people, like Kate's age. You know, Kate's mid-20s. I mean, is it something like that?
Absolutely, it is, and it's amazing to see, Sergio. It really is, because we're talking about young people. The center itself is ran by a young man named Collins Wasanga, and he's a 29-year-old, and he lives there in Kibera. He lives in that township, and he has sacrificed a great deal to build partnerships around the world to try to enhance the lives of these children.
Really?
Yes.
See, and on our Facebook show, we were talking about the future. You know, kids, obviously everybody's kids to us now because we're getting old. But we were talking about like how some kids, millennials in particular, are not, they're still living at home, they're still in school, they're not quite an adult yet.
Yes.
And you got this guy here that's a full-blown adult, and he's an ambassador.
Absolutely.
You know, he's trying to take care of real kids.
Absolutely. It's one of those things, Sergio, that's amazing to see, and it's unique to see. Circumstances sometimes make you grow up very, very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And those circumstances are incredibly dire. We're talking about situations where young people, and when I say young people, specifically we're talking about 8, 9, 10-year-olds who are literally homeless. And we're talking about someone who could focus on themselves and elects not to.
Right.
And so that level of maturity, coupled with that compassion, has really made a difference in the lives of many young people over there. They see about 60 people in this center, 60 kids. So you look at that situation and you can't help but want to get involved. And that's exactly, I saw that opportunity, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Well, anything doing with kids, I mean, me now that I have a kid, it kind of pulls at your heartstrings.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I love my kid to death. He drives me crazy, but I love him to death. And you'll do anything for him. I'll spoil the hell out of mine because I love him, because I want him to have everything. I want him to have the best.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and it kind of works the same way in general with kids, is you want the best for them. You want them to have a good time and to see a smile on their face, because you've got your whole life to be miserable.
You do.
As adults, we all have our whole life to be stressed out and overworked, underpaid, but you've only got so many years to be a kid.
Exactly.
You've only got so many years to be innocent.
Exactly. And that's why some children need an advocate, because they don't have those relationships with adults that you just described. Mm-hmm. There isn't a parental influence when it comes to some of these kids. And as a result, they are severely deprived of those things that we take for granted. And so you really look at those situations, and when they're presented to you, if you have compassion for your fellow human beings, you can't help but get involved.
So how did you get it? I mean, how did you stumble upon this?
Well, actually, it was a progression. Started in 2015. I was unfortunately diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I started to capture my bucket list at the time. And one of the things that I wanted to continue to do was travel abroad. I served in the military and lived in Europe for a number of years, and loved learning about different cultures. And I wanted to continue that. So I started putting quarters in a jar in 2015 until I got enough money to make this trip to Africa. And so I was researching the countries, because the continent is huge. So there were so many different options to explore. And I focused on Kenya and did some research, primarily because it's close to Mount Kilimanjaro, and the last two remaining northern white rhinos in existence is in Kenya. So I wanted to see that.
Is that the one that isn't there only one left now?
No, it's two. It was three. The male died.
Okay, that happened recently. That happened like a month ago.
Right, it did. Yes.
Yeah, and that was the big thing, is they didn't know what they were able to do to try and keep the breed going.
Exactly.
Because there's just two females now.
It's two females.
So two lesbian rhinos aren't doing us any favors.
Probably not.
Okay.
But maybe they'll come up with something artificially. I don't know. But there's an opportunity to do all of those things. But one of the things that I kept coming across was this township of Kibera, and this young man, Collins Wasanga. What he does is he conducts tours of the slum areas for donations, so that he can use that to feed and clothe children. And I contacted him on social media just to see what the organization was like, what his challenges were, what his successes were. And it just kind of evolved from there. He has a lot of desire, but can use some assistance.
Now, I'm going to give this guy some credit here. I work in sales.
Okay.
So some of this is how you get the sale, how you close the sale.
Sure.
This guy here takes you to the worst part of the neighborhood and shows you the worst of the worst. Oh, by the way, here's a kid that doesn't have anything to eat, doesn't have any clothes, doesn't have, a mom and a dad, doesn't have any toys.
Right.
You're an asshole if you don't give him any money.
Right.
So he's smart. He's like, hey, come out here. I'm going to show you the area. Oh, by the way, here's this kid in really bad shape. Can you give me $100?
No.
Well, yeah, of course you're going to give him money.
Right.
You're a horrible man if you don't give me money.
Not necessarily.
I know, but I'm saying,
and that's a great observation.
It's a good marketing ploy. It's a tool.
Yeah.
It's not a ploy. It's a tool.
And people have used that, but given the fact that my history is the inner cities of Oakland, California, and I have traveled, globally, I can recognize those scams. I mean, I can recognize those.
Well, no, I'm not saying he's a scam. I'm just saying he's really good at his job because he knows how to reel people in.
Oh, you mean on the tour?
On the tour, yeah. The people
okay.
that want to be a part of this for the good of it. Because it pulls at your heartstrings.
It does.
It does. That's how you do it.
But the remarkable thing about that, though, Sergio, is the fact that people come through as tourists, but then they leave. One of the questions that I asked him was, what is your affiliation with any other organizations? Mm-hmm. And his affiliations are local. Local supermarket might donate some things. Mm-hmm. Local charities. There might be some overflow from some other charities, some orphanages that are there. But no one has really built a bridge between him and steady donations to the children. One of the things, to address your point, that's unique about Kenya Lenda Hand in our structure mm-hmm. is we're an organization where, as donations are made to children, we will make sure that, one, there aren't the layers that exist currently. One of the things that has deterred me from making contributions to organizations like Save the Children and Feed the Hungry and mm-hmm. other countries and that sort of thing are the number of layers associated with how they're structured.
Well, yeah, and because it's like I give you $100,
right?
I give Joe Blow charity $100 to feed the kids,
right?
And it's like, well, we need 10 of that to pay the light bill.
Yes.
I need 20 of that to go towards this guy's salary.
Yes.
Oh, the van needs a tune-up. We're taking 5. Is that March of Dimes that does that?
For every dollar, they only donate 10 cents.
For every
10
dollar
cents.
at March of Dimes, they only donate 10 cents.
There you go.
So can I just give them 10 cents and say, this is what I want to donate? I only want to donate the part that counts. I only want to give you the meat.
Yeah, they only get a penny.
I don't want the fat. I just want to give you the meat.
So that's not the solution, obviously. Then.
So if I give you $100 to Kenya Lenda Hand, I'm not going to see Cool Lady G rolling around in like a Ferrari or
no.
That says Kenya Lenda Hand on the.
No, that's your local pastor, man. That's not Kenya Lenda Hand. That's
who are we lying to? I don't go to church.
No, absolutely not. One of these things, when they are spiritual, supernatural, meant to be, there's a different feel about them. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those examples. He never contacted me. I contacted him. And through our interaction, things have been revealed. And one of the specific attributes of our organization is that we don't have the layers, and we won't have the layers. And whatever your donation is, you will see that packaged, and you will see the kid receiving that. You'll see the results of the recipient. I am going over next month, and as part of my trip there, I get a chance to oversee what's actually taking place in that country. And I'm prepared to take a lot of things and give those to those who are in need and solicit the help of others to go to a good cause.
So if I get you like 50 Law and Disorder t-shirts, I'm gonna have pictures. I'm gonna have pictures of little kids over there wearing my Law and Disorder t-shirt.
Because I don't see anybody else wearing them. So. So you might have a point there. You might have a point. I saw one of the Law and Order t-shirts blowing down the street when I came in the door, man.
Next to my Make America Great Again hat.
It was blowing like a tumbleweed.
It's like, I need to check the oil. Let me grab that Law and Disorder shirt out of the back seat.
So, you can appreciate someone who will proudly display